And we're live. I may not look like live, but I'm alive. I have been explaining to people today that my personal bandwidth has been reduced to dial up. I can't make that noise. Wowzers, people, it has been an intense couple of weeks, and knowing that I have been on the downhill slide today, I think my body got there before the rest of me did. So it's been really hard to stay upright today. On the subject of staying upright, I am noticing quite a lot of health professionals who are now doing telehealth conferencing or video conferencing with their clients, talking about increased back pain and neck pain. And something that might be really useful for you to notice is what I've found that I'm doing is the more video conferencing that I'm doing, the closer I am bringing my body to the screen. So I'm doing this. We are already at risk of this stupid thing that we do with our neck. So if you find yourself doing that a lot, stop it. And you need to bring yourself back up to a more neutral spine. But what I'm finding is when I rely so heavily not just on what my clients say and how they speak, but on their whole body language and how they're interacting with their environment, how they're moving. And I kind of feel like I've had half my language capabilities taken away from me, but also in the mirroring and the mirroring body language and wanting to pull people in. So we're taught to lean in when we want to bring people close. But what I found yesterday is that I'd been leaning in so long that, oh, there it is. The tilt on my spine was at such an angle, and I'd stayed there for so long that when I went to go back up again, it was like, that really hurt. So when you're setting yourself up in your chair and you need to have your feet flat on the floor or flat on a surface, so you might need a little thing under your feet. You can buy a $30 footstool. I know, I've checked, you can buy them. They'll be delivered to you. You need to have your arms just at 90 degrees, kind of near your waist, not on armchairs, not around, not leaning on them in front of you, but kind of just in front of you. And you need to be able to have your screen close enough so that you can see it. So what I've discovered today is that as I fatigue and my eyes get sore, is I've actually needed to bring my screens closer. So the screen that I'm talking to my clients on, I need to bring closer. And the screen that I do my work on, I actually need to make my font larger. I've needed to dial down all of the glare because it's really hurting my eyes, and make sure that I'm allowing my eyes to feel rested in amongst all of this. So there's just a little helpful hint that I thought that you might appreciate. I had a team meeting with the Purple Co people today. Awesome people. Hey Erica, nice to see you too. And once I had explained that this was what was going on and what I'd noticed in my own poor posture, everybody was going, oh, I'm doing that too. So you're going to put your butt right back in the edge of your chair and allow the seat, the back part of it, to actually cushion your back. So this is probably where I'm going to get lots of requests about what type of chair do I need. You need an ergonomist or an occupational therapist who knows about seating, because disclaimer, I am not one of those people, but just thought it might be interesting that we're doing all this. We're going to have problems with our neck, we have problems with our shoulders, and which is why we need to be moving more. Anywho, it's Friday, and I hope that I'm not sitting at a computer tomorrow. I won't be sitting at a computer tomorrow. I can tell you my body and my brain are just not going to let that happen. But I'm curious to know, with all of this working from home or working in a COVID environment, because there are health professionals here in Australia who are taking extra precautions and doing extra risk management training and are still out delivering services to clients because client care needs don't change. COVID hasn't taken away the other things that we need to be caring each other about. Hey, Sonia. So I'm curious to know if there's something that you've done this week or been exposed to, not in a bad way, but or had the opportunity to experience that you've gone, oh, I wouldn't have done that if I wasn't forced to or didn't have a choice. If there is an option, you wouldn't have needed to think about it. So some of the, I've been befriended by the lizard who lives in my office. He continues to turn up and entertain me with his little, putting himself up on the on the window, and he's now made himself at home. I don't know if it's a he or a she, on our lunch table, and likes to walk around the rim of our waste paper basket. And then I squeal like a girl when I first see it, and it just goes, and I go, ee, and squeal, hey Kelsey, oh, this is cool, all the people are turning up today. So being befriended by a lizard, because I'm obviously feeling lonely. Please don't, Sonia. Okay, Sonia. Well, we will replace lizard sharing photos with photos of, how about ducklings wearing tutus? I thought that picture I put up was just gorgeous. I had the opportunity to be in a group meeting yesterday. We used the Zoom platform. Now, I know there's been a whole heap of stuff about the security of Zoom. There are ways to increase your security. We are responsible for knowing what our security obligations are. So don't go with what everybody else is saying in the pandemic of reading all the information to what your security measures need to be. So there's ways of shutting Zoom down so that it is safer, and I've been talking about that for years. However, there's a new feature in Zoom where you can actually have breakout rooms. And I got a chance to be a participant on one of those breakout rooms yesterday, and it was really cool. It was easy as a participant to participate in it. Okay. Although the facilitator, the convener, locked herself out of the whole Zoom meeting twice, which we all thought was hilarious. So look forward to the day that happens, because I'm assuming that that's going to happen to all of us now that we've got this new technology. Something else that I got to use for the first time as a patient this week was a piece of practice management software called Clinico, which has a built-in telehealth platform, not a third-party application just sandwiched in. It was a really, really good experience from a patient user. Video quality wasn't as good as Zoom, but you know what? That could have something to do with where I live. But it was easy. I felt really comfortable talking to the physiotherapist that I was talking to. I didn't feel like rapport was inhibited in any way. And I still got to do range of motion testing and actually worked out myself where my niggles and problems were. So that was a really cool thing to experience. So I have been learning how to use, so software is obviously turning up a lot in this conversation for me. Hi Linda, I've been learning how to use various project management systems. So one of the things I've started doing with some of my coaching clients who have a lot of stuff in their head and they need to get it out is to move away from the Jo tradition of the coaching plan where she physically typed everything into it, because you know that's how I learned to think. And we're now trialing a range of different project management tools. So there's Asana, there's Monday.com, there's Trello, not a fan, all sorts of things like that. So I'm helping my clients grow their capacity and their capabilities for managing themselves and their business by being able to get them onto these types of platforms and find the platform that's going to work best for the way their brain works and the way they like to think. So that's been a really cool experience for me as well. I think the other interesting experience for me over this past couple of weeks, which I have talked about quite a lot, is learning how to moderate my desire for task completion with a lot of other people's need for human interaction. So I have found myself wanting a lot more human interaction than I thought I would need. And I have allowed my task completion drive to go over here and allowed my need to be with people and relate to come up. And it's a protective mechanism and it's a helpful mechanism. And I even found myself saying this week, which I don't think I've ever said before, what tasks need completing? And instead of going, let's complete those tasks, I've gone, no, they can wait. No, they can wait. No, they can wait. Now, prior to xxJo would have described herself as being lazy. I would have described myself as being unproductive, unreliable. I had all of this chatter going on. But what it's actually helping me refine right now is what it means to be productive, what it means to be successful, what it means for me to feel like I am engaged. One of my big concerns at the moment is we may be all out working from home, and it was all fun and games last week when it was new and novel. And this week we're exhausted. We're trying to manage the demands of all the people in our houses again. We're trying to work out how on earth we stay productive in this environment. Well, I think the next phase that we need to move into is redefining what productivity is. Hey, Paul. Hey, Katie. No, you're not late, Paul. And productivity right now for us needs to be turning up the best way we can to do the work we're engaged to do. So if you had a big growth project, maybe now's not the right time. I am encouraging all of my clients to take their knowledge of their finances back to their break even. What is it that you need to bring in? Let's get those things covered, and anything else is a bonus. So that's been really useful and helpful to help people go, okay, the new normal for now is I just need to get back to my break even, which means you need to get curious about your numbers. And as a person who will be watching this later, who knows that I am speaking directly to them. Love you. Getting curious about our numbers and making sure that we're not putting unrealistic pressure on ourselves. What we tend to do as human beings is, and particularly those of us who are high performing and driven and ambitious, and if you're watching me, you're going to be one of those people, otherwise you wouldn't find me interesting, is that we kind of fill our balloons. Like if our life, our energy, our world was this balloon, we just keep blowing more into it. So instead of stopping and reevaluating what does it mean to coexist with COVID right now, we've all got to keep doing all of the things and just add the COVID pressure on top of it. Now, that's a normal human reaction. Don't get me wrong. I'm not suggesting for a minute that anybody's done anything wrong. I just think what it is a time to go, I can reevaluate what is important. So for me, it always comes back to service. Who am I serving? How am I serving them? How am I looking after myself so I can continue to turn up and be of service? And for health professionals, that is the kindest, most compassionate place we can all come from. It's kind to us, it's kind to our clients, it's kind to the community, and it actually helps us build our businesses. Hey, Ilsa, you've been struggling, needing to take care of you in some way and hoping, yeah, you know what? We kind of ran a marathon in a 2-week sprint period. So for those sporting analogies, sorry about that, but we were on the go and hyper alert for a full 2 weeks, and we had so much change going on, and it was like being in the gym 8 hours a day. Nobody was ready for that. And it was frightening, and it still is frightening. And I think for a lot of mental health professionals, of which you are one, Ilsa, you're hearing these stories and you're helping people process their anxiety, their fear, their grief, their loss in every single phone call. I know I've been doing that with clients. I've been doing that with clients all week, and it's just like, you can't not talk about this. And the impact is really intense for everybody. So I think we've got to be kind. And you might just need a rest. And I don't know how you give yourself rest at this point in time. Switching off from what? How do we switch off? How do we act compassionately to ourselves? I do know with one of my coaching clients this week, we have had to reduce her client load from 6 clients a day to 5 because she needed more breaks. She was going to burn herself out. We're actually going to get down to 4. And there's a financial plan in place for that. Yes, Katie, we've got to hunker down and take care of business, especially, when you guys have got this conference that you run every year. Oh, conference events and all of those things that are done face-to-face and in a room. You're just like, whoa, how do we think about all of that now? Because it's not as easy as just going online. It's never as easy as just going online. Although I am very, very tempted to put the Success Mindset Masterclass online in October. I have worked out how I can do that in a way that I know that I'm delivering, because that was the big problem for me. So my email went out today. If you got my email, if you're on my email list and you're interested in it going online, you need to let me know, because the more people who are interested, the more inclined I will be to run it as an online event. It will be in October, just letting you know. Alrighty, I am actually signing off for a couple of weeks. I'm not sure if you saw yesterday's episode, but that let you know. I explained to everybody that I need to go and have some surgery next week. Yes, going to a hospital in the middle of COVID, and it was all under control. I've had a gazillion phone calls over the last couple of days. So I won't be live and I won't be working. So my team have really stepped up. There's an out of office on my email. My phone won't be being answered. So if you're waiting for me to respond to something, I'm sorry, you're going to have to wait until around the 20th of April. I have got a whole heap of repeat episodes from early on in This Is Private Practice scheduled to come out next week. So I hope you enjoyed those. And I am really, really looking forward to connecting with everybody. Oh, Sonia. Oh, I would love that. So Sonia's had some mental health wellness from a clinic. Yes, please. I would love you to share that with me. I'll come back to work for that. You know how to get in touch with me in a way that allows me to share that. That would be fantastic. All right, I'm going to sign off for now. Really looking forward to connecting with you all in a couple of weeks. Be safe. Be kind, look after you, and make sure that we all get back together towards the end of April.